So there was roughly a 20-year window, about 1880 to 1900, when cocaine was considered a health product. It was like an intellectual aid and a gift appropriate to send your fiance. Even the Pope was a fan. He endorsed cocaine wine. Okay, let's talk about it. So the story starts in Peru. The cocoa plant had been chewed by indigenous Andean communities for centuries for energy, altitude sickness, and endurance. So when Spanish colonizers arrived, they initially tried to ban it. They said it was immoral and pagan, yada, yada, yada. And then they realized how productive it made everyone. So they completely changed their mind and decided to keep it. All right, let's fast forward to 1860. There was a German chemist named Albert Niemann, and he isolates the active compound from cocoa leaves and calls it cocaine. He notes in his research paper that it has a numbing effect on the tongue. Science. So for 2 decades, it just sits in chemistry papers. No one cares. It doesn't really interest anyone. Then in 1863, a chemist named Angelino Mariani had a crazy thought. He was like, I should put cocaine in wine. So he makes something called Vin Mariani. It's a Bordeaux wine infused with cocoa leaves. He markets it as a tonic for energy, for the voice, for general vitality. And he sends free cases to famous people. Everyone loved it. Thomas Edison said it helped him work longer hours. Jules Verne endorses it. Ulysses S. Grant, dying of throat cancer, is given it to help him write his memoirs. He drinks it and writes. And he finishes his memoirs. They are considered excellent. Even the Pope loved it. Pope Leo XIII appears in an advertising testimonial. They gave him a gold medal. He accepted it and he posed for an ad. And the Vatican didn't object. They probably loved it too. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, Georgia, a pharmacist named John Pemberton decides to create an American version. So he skips the wine and he makes a very sugary syrup with cocoa leaves and cola nuts, which is another stimulant. And he sells it as a brain tonic and a cure for headaches. He calls it Coca-Cola. At the same time, Sigmund Freud, who you may know from other controversies, publishes a paper in 1884 titled Über Coco. In it, he calls cocaine a miracle substance. He uses it himself. He prescribes it for depression, anxiety, and morphine addiction. Back in the day, they really couldn't get addiction under control. They really just kept making it worse. Okay, anyways, back to Sigmund Freud. So he prescribes it again for all sorts of things. He even sends some to his fiancée Martha as a gift and writes her a letter describing how it will make her feel wild. Oh my gosh, Sigmund Freud. He also recommends it to a close friend with a morphine addiction. Freud does feel bad about this one. Okay, there is one legitimately good cocaine discovery from this era. Carl Kohler, who is an ophthalmologist, figures out that cocaine is an effective local anesthetic for eye surgery. And this is actually true and still relevant. Cocaine derivatives are still used in certain ENT procedures today. Isn't that interesting? Everything else, though, slowly unravels. By the early 1900s, the addiction crisis is visible and ugly. Cocaine is disproportionately blamed for violence in deeply racist and false ways that shaped drug policies for decades. The Harrison Narcotics Act of 1914 effectively banned it. Coca-Cola quietly removed the cocaine in 1903. They did keep the cocoa leaf flavoring. They just decocained it, took out all the cocaine. They also obviously kept the name, which is worth an estimated $80 billion today. The lesson here is every generation has one substance they're certain is fine. Every single generation has been wrong. I wonder what our generation's substance is going to be. I think it's going to be GLP-1s. Don't come at me.